console.
Yeah, it's one of those nights you can tell the rage is going to be focused. It's just like, am I going to be the best there ever was? Is that where I'm going to focus it? Or am I going to break something in half?
Yeah, probably the latter.
But there's always a chance. You do a few runs just in case, just in case you break. Where are you at with what's the goal again? Is it sub 25?
So it was sub 25, but I got to 25 in like 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. I think last podcast you were at like 25-10, and you were like, I gotta
Yeah.
change the goal because I'm already there, basically. Like,
And then now my PB is, I don't know, somewhere around like mid 23.
okay.
Um,
So now the goal has shifted to 20.
so now it's 20. Yeah. So it's gonna take some. And there's actually been a bunch of people that have been stopping by, which has been awesome because they've been like, I heard you talking about speed running on the podcast. I wanted to come and see.
That's
Uh,
cool.
so it's been a lot of fun. A lot of people coming by being like, whoa, this is fucking sick. Um, but yeah, so now I'm just at the point where like I can do all the things in the run. The sum of all of my best splits, which is basically like if you break down all of the individual pieces, that's like 18 and a half minutes.
That's like your
So
theoretical best
yeah,
based
so
on how
like
you.
and you'd be surprised how many of them are 3 or 4 minutes faster than like my PB. But when you watch them, they look like not good. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's like imagine if you're watching someone in Tarkov that had like terrible movement, and they were just like, but they camped at the right moment and they just killed everybody. But you're like, how the fuck are they?
Yeah.
That's what I'm watching. Like these people that are like, they mess up and then they slow down here and then they do that and they do that. And like, is their timer just fucking slower than mine?
Yeah. How is this possible?
But like, there's so many different elements to it, and the pattern I'm finding is a lot of people, because what happens is when you get your best run, that's usually what you like flip and you put on leaderboards, right? Almost always into like 1,000 runs. So
for this guy.
When I have the information I need to play right now. So it's just been
I'll easily take
I have just been having
all
fun
the
with
fucking
everything else.
USEC armors. Apparently they changed something about recoil or something. That's why I'm listening to this podcast right now.
What you think.
Yeah.
Half the time it's the opposite. Half the time it's not even either of those. It's something else.
Just something completely else.
So you just learn to like not trust your senses. Yeah.
Yep.
So
a few of the times recently, a few of the like super frustrating deaths have been because I heard something and didn't trust it. And like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I think like, did I hear a guy outside? Did I hear a guy hit a stem? It's like
That's his own damn fault, dude. He shouldn't have fucking did that. Why would you do that?
Trust the audio again, or at least trust it more, because we've been so beaten down.
Why the fuck would you try to kill someone at Exfil?
Or if they're not running
Like,
at full sprint,
come on, dude.
Just you have to go.
Imagine trying to
go
kill someone
find
at
the
Exfil and then
information you
fucking
want, then act
failing.
on it, which is why it's such a hyper aggressive thing.
Jackass.
But it's been so much fun to find a middle ground, bro. We've been doing nonstop customs, dorms. Like dorms is mine right now, bro. Mine. Like it's just been so much fun. And with the team play, me and Sealable, we play so often that we now play farther and farther apart from each other, so each other's audio doesn't get in the thing. And we were having stuff where it's like he's just calling, somebody opened this door, I hear the metal, so I just break a window, jump out. Now I'm outside, I swing on him, the dude's on the ladder, he has no idea where I am. I come back in, Sealable jumps out the window. It's just been like, it's been so much fun to find the balance of like playing aggressive but allowing the audio information to actually inform you instead of just having to chase the person down you know, hope that Peeker's advantage gets you behind the corner before they can see you and shoot you, and then now you can react to the knowledge you have. We listen. We're setting up flanks based on audio alone and being like, I know that they're gonna be here in just a second. Dude opens the door, boom. Like, so it's like you said, it's definitely cataracts with glasses, but it's just been getting a taste for me. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a taste of going back to, like, I mean, everything we talked about last week with the stuff. Like, if the Unity upgrade helps with the netcode, if they start dredging out some of their old audio code and putting in more Steam audio stuff, like, it could be next level. It's amazing.
Yeah, and
Oh my
part
God.
of what you were saying earlier with like having to retrain yourself to
That's just kind of
like
getting full.
To
trust your senses. Part of why I've been like trying to stay away is because anything, you know, I was on like a downward trajectory in terms of just like my frustrations and everything, right? So there's the possibility, right, that some part of that is like I was in a slump or I had developed some bad. I almost kind of want to forget about forget everything I learned so that I can like stay away long enough that I can fucking come back and be like relearn everything.
Yeah.
So that if there's anything, you know, if there's any bad habits, you know, hopefully break them.
Yeah.
If I'm gone long enough, then, you know, Steam Audio is going to come back. Maybe they fix the netcode. Maybe they fix something else. And then it's like, I'll come back and, oh, this is the Tarkov I remember from 2 years ago. Maybe a bunch of that will be the game changing and a bunch of that will be me changing. But yeah, that's largely why I've been hesitating, you know, to go back. Because it's like the longer I wait, the more significant I think the experience will be when I come back.
100%. Yeah, instead of having to like unlearn a ton of tiny bad habits, it's just coming back and being like, oh yeah, this feels like the way things should be, or at least closer to the way things should be than it used to feel, and you just kind of get to react to that. That makes total sense. That we've had, I mean, it was a pretty nothing crazy happening. Pastel's got his Punisher tournaments, which are exciting to watch. They buffed the AKs, which has just been fun. Just it's like that was, I don't know why they did it, but it was just like
tell me about that, because I saw a bunch of I've seen a bunch of like YouTube thumbnails, and that's like my experience with it.
Yeah, so they buffed almost all the AKs across the board. Their base, just the stock standard AK. They buffed their ergo and recoil.
That
like
explains why I was probably able to just kill that guy so easily with that AK.
Changes. So instead of the CMDR handguard that's been the meta one for like almost as long as I've been playing Tarkov, it's the like Troy gas block combination one that's like longer,
the rounded
and skinny.
one.
Yeah, the rounded one that's got the rail up front. That's the meta one now.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's the meta one now, so you're gonna start seeing it everywhere. And so between some of the attachment changes and the stock ones, they all feel good. Like the meta 545 AKs, the 74N still, but it's down to like 45 vertical recoil, and with a 60 round mag, 50 ergonomics, it's like very usable. The 762 AKs, the 103, it got like almost 10 recoil knocked off of it, which those are the ones that like 762 AKs are super fun to use, but they definitely have some kick. And then the one everybody loves to hate me for, my favorite, the Longboy AK-101 with the long 5.56 suppressor on it, the Hot Guns one that I did.
When did this
was
change
so
happen?
bad, it performed so bad. It's so good now. It's now you can get that. You can get that now 40 vertical recoil, which is, I mean, like
what?
The meta M4 is like 35 or 36. You know what I mean? And you can get that down to 40.
So
AK-101s are going to be super expensive right now then.
It's on my long list of things that I'll science out eventually, but of course by the time I go to do it, everything will have changed. What's your interpretation of like X points of recoil? Is it something that's linear that you can compare, i.e. like 40 recoil for one gun and 40 recoil for another gun? It's the same like Y offset, you know, on the screen, or is it completely fucking different and arbitrary, and it like I have no idea?
I think somewhere in between. I don't think it's completely arbitrary, but I think like most things, there's like an infinite amount of subsystems that make it. It's like an organized chaos, but it appears to be chaos. Like armor's a great example of that, where like the game says armor class, armor durability, but like you know that there's like like destructibility statistics for the material it's made out of that is present nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
so
There's a million variables, but ultimately, does it take 1 bullet, 2 bullets, 3 bullets, or 4?
yes,
Right? Like there's only 4
there's
outcomes.
only 4 outcomes. Yes. So there's that, and then so with the guns, I feel like it's, oh, Kip knows AK-101 is incredible. Hell yeah. It's what I think the big X factor that people don't really talk about, and this is all just what I feel, but that the fire rate has a huge change on it as well, because like the like the AKMs and the 7.62 AKs have a much slower fire rate, and so in theory, at least in my brain, it says that between each bullet there's more time to return to center, so the perceived recoil, even though it's 66, it doesn't feel like an M4 with 66 recoil, because the M4 shoots so fast that in your first 3 bullets you're pointing at a 45-degree angle, because it's a and with the AK-103 it's boom boom boom, so you've got a little bit. I don't know if that's
there's,
real.
Like, some sort of like rhythm, you know, like if it was like 2 bullets per bump,
yeah,
you know, would be, or 4 bullets per bump is good, or 6 bullets, but like not 3.
Yeah.
Right, because then you'd always be like off.
Yeah.
I'm visualizing like
yeah
something. I think you get what I'm talking about.
It feels like it because I've used M4s at 66 vertical recoil, and it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like you have to burst fire that thing. But as of 2 days ago, the meta top tier AK-103, which was the best 7.62 full auto gun you could make, had 66 vertical recoil. And it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's all in my brain, maybe it's fire rate plays its part, maybe like you were saying, maybe it's that even just like, even if we could get them down to the same fire rate, the AK-X has a 44 vertical recoil and the M4 has 44 vertical recoil, maybe just baked in the way their recoil patterns work is different enough to make one perceived to be more controllable versus the other. It's probably a culmination of all those things. But it definitely it's definitely better now. And like with like the 5.45 AK, 60 round mags for 5.45 AKs are so prevalent and so easy to get. You know what I mean? Raiders drop them, Killa drops them, you can craft them, you can barter for them.
Unlike the 60 round fucking HK mags or M4 mags or 100K
100K apiece, yep. But with 60 rounds, man, with 60 rounds and 44 vertical recoil, you just hold mouse 1, because that's the other way recoil works in Tarkov, right? And in any gun, you just hold mouse 1 long enough, it's gonna go.
But see, that's
just
the thing,
sink into a rhythm. You know what I mean?
50 round drum or a 60 round mag. When I have like a RSAS, or well, actually that's literally the worst example. Like a FAL, right?
Yeah.
With a 50 round mag, I'm like, I can kill 50 people with this.
Yeah.
When I have an HK, I'm like, I can kill 2 people. When I have a VAL, I'm like, I can kill 1 guy with these 30 rounds. You know? So there's got to be something there too. If I come across a 1v5, I would much rather have a FAL or even like a semi-auto 308 or an AK, you know, with BP than any of the maybe easier to control full auto guns that do less damage.
That's for sure. That's huge. That's like the spray and pray. I don't know if you want to call it spray and pray culture, but like the spray and pray attitude that Tarkov has across the entire community, myself included. And I hate it, dude. I say that all the time. I'll be like, why did I just full auto there? Because I wasted half of my mag and missed all my shots. Like, that's a huge, I don't know. It definitely feels that way. Like, I definitely feel like I can't eliminate a 3-man with a 60 round mag in an M4. It just feels that way. When in all reality, if I just went back and watched those clips back, it's like you just didn't have to full auto there. You could have just tapped that guy, then sprayed this guy. Then you still have 33 rounds left. Why even reload? And it's like, oh yeah. So
it's I mean, it's just like anything else. Man, there's another sports fucking metaphor. I'm like picturing, I'm feeling in my head, but I can't identify exactly what it is. I don't know if it's like when you get like a breakaway and you go to layup, like there's something like I used to get so stressed out when it was like you break away and you go to like that. Those layups are fucking harder
Really?
than one where you've got somebody covering you and
Why?
putting pressure
Yeah.
on you because you're like you overthink it, and you know what I mean, like
Yep.
you get tunnel vision. So what you don't want to do is be like, all right, I'm gonna one tap these guys.
Yep.
And then you like
Why?
fucking trip, and
Doesn't make
someone throws a
sense.
nade at you, and then the whole thing's over. And it's like, if I had just
Okay,
went,
so we're gonna need different
they probably would have
grip
scattered, and I
then.
would have killed them all.
This
Yeah.
one's not gonna
you know?
work.
So
It's-
unfortunately, you get rewarded for mouse wanting.
Yeah.
Probably enough to train you to,
For
want
sure.
to do it.
For sure. I mean, it's definitely situational, but yeah, I mean, you can. Yeah, in Tarkov, more situations, it's just hold mouse one, which can be changed a variety of different ways. I remember way back podcast days we had Clean on here, and we were talking about that, where it's like a way to nerf the time to kill isn't to actually nerf armor or ammo or anything, but it's to give all the guns more recoil. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, which is it's funny because like it's such a weird thing. Like, because we talk a lot about the whole like realism is a stupid
The fuck
argument,
is
which
it?
is true, but it is interesting. Like my buddy sent
I
me
don't know
a
if
clip
this
the
will
other
work.
day of a guy with
That
the
doesn't
Stang 100 round M4 mag, and it was like
Mhm.
a lightly like a mediumly modded M4, and he was at the range, and he was joking around obviously, and it was a full auto one, and he just went, brrrr. I mean it was like a laser
this
beam.
works.
Like he was just holding it there, like there was
No,
no
what the fuck one works then?
perceived recoil while he was holding it. Now I'm sure his shots were kind of peppering the thing, but it wasn't like.
I'm just gonna use a regular
So it's
one
like
if
it's
I
a
can't
weird
find
thing
one.
where everybody, all the gun nuts, all the realism gun nuts, want to come in and be like, well, actually, that gun is a laser beam in real life. It was engineered to be that way. But then at the same time, they're also like, yeah, but in the field, you'd never full auto. That's not a thing. And it's like,
Well,
okay,
which fucking is it?
yeah. Well, it's like, well, I believe that it's both. I believe that if I was out in the
This
field
one
and
probably
I
doesn't fit
really
either.
only had 120 bullets on me, that even if my gun was a laser,
What the
I'm
fuck,
not
dude?
gonna just mouse one. I'm not just gonna hold the trigger down and. But that's the thing. It's like, so that
What the
means
fuck
we
is
have to break the
X47?
realism on one end. And this goes back to
B33.
everything we've talked
Okay,
about.
well, give me
to
B33 then.
ultimately service a feeling of more realism. Because
dust
in
cover
the
back
field,
on.
people aren't bringing in 100-round mags and just
this
holding the
on there.
trigger down and just, pointing the
Throw
gun
this
in the
on there,
general
throw this
direction
on
and
there.
mowing down people. It's precise, especially since we're supposed to be private military contractors. We're kind of on our own. We're lone wolves. Like, it's supposed to be more precise. You can't just say that. You can't.
I don't know how this is
if
gonna
you're
be.
fighting for the realism, you can't say, well, in real life, guns are laser beams, but also you would never just hold down your trigger. It's like, well, we're playing a video game, so if my gun's a laser beam, I am gonna hold down the trigger. So one of those things has to change. We have to break the realism in service of creating a more realistic experience. And so
here's how you respond to those people that say, the fucking cowboys that I'm sure were in the Marines or whatever, and they're gods. Okay, it's a laser beam. I'll hand you a fucking laser pointer.
yeah.
Now I want you to run 50 meters and hold that laser pointer up
I don't-
against
yeah.
a target
Against
and
my
have it
hand
not,
at 50 meters. Just keep it
and
on
have
my
it
hand.
not, every time your heart beats, you can fucking feel the blood. Like
yeah.
it's one thing between being able to control and manage a gun
Yes.
and being able to hit a dime at 100, like
Yeah.
full auto. When
Yeah.
you watch real soldiers, real like helmet cam footage or whatever, it's almost always pop,
100%.
pop. Because if you've ever looked through an optic, you realize you don't get a nice fucking 4K picture,
Yeah.
and you don't get to just hold. Shit. It has the screens to go. You're like,
These mags are
you're
small.
holding your breath and you're like, and then granted, I've never been in
Whoa, what is this? What is the horizontal recoil on this hunk of shit?
Than that,
With real guns and real.
It's not gonna be easier than that.
This thing isn't usable. I can't use this thing.
Yep. So
I'm gonna stick
it's
to my
just
gun. This
it's
is
an
fucking
interesting
stupid.
thing. So like, anyways, going back to the whole like, well, I just remember way back in the day, I was talking about how like nerfing recoil could nerf time to kill without having to adjust all these ridiculously unnecessarily complex systems. If the thing, and that's something I talk a lot with my buddy Desmond about. Like he went and played Rust a lot, which like has
All right, fuck it, let's go.
really predictable but crazy recoil patterns. Like you see the guys with the mouse cams that, you know, do this with their mouse, but their gun is holding because they've mastered the recoil, and like it's something that takes time and it's hard. And like I would just love, I don't know, I just like that's a thing that's been coming up a lot recently is like recoil. That's something that I haven't heard Nikita talk about in a long time. Like I'd love to get 5 minutes with Nikita and just be like, you know, why'd you go this way? Would you ever consider going another way? Like, do you like that the guns are this way? Do you already have plans that you're going to change the thing? Like, I don't want to come in and assume, but we haven't heard him talk about that in a long time. And it's just interesting because that tiny thing would fundamentally change the way Tarkov is played. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't have to change the armor. You wouldn't have to change the loot spawns. You wouldn't have to change the ammo values. You wouldn't have to change anything other than giving everything more recoil, and it would just be interesting.
Yeah, I this was probably a decent segue because I will say that so I played Dead Side
Yeah.
yesterday for the first time, and actually now I'm kind of craving playing that again. I might play that tonight. Actually. We'll see. But to give you an idea for what Dead Side is, it's basically a better Daisy.
That's
It's a better Daisy.
Here
And
come
I
the
say
Daisy
better. I
fans.
say better because it's just it's got more of the things I like and less of the things I don't like about Daisy. It's purely subjective.
Yeah.
I hated the zombies in Daisy because they weren't really a threat unless you were naked.
Yeah.
They're a threat until you get an axe, and then they're just a nuisance.
Yeah.
But you know, like if you just spawn in and you find something really good, but you don't have any way to defend yourself, you're just getting chased by 3 or 4 zombies, and then in the distance you see a bunch of dudes that are just watching you get fucking harassed, and they're just laughing at you, like because you know that even if you got away from the zombies, they're just gonna fucking pick you off.
Yep.
So they were just annoying distractions, but there's like scabs in Dead
Yeah.
Side. They're just like random kind of patrolly AIs. They're sometimes they are better than AI scabs. Sometimes they're worse. I don't know how old the game is. I want to say it's like a year or two. It's not like Daisy that's like
Yeah.
fucking feels like a decade.
I think I remember hearing about it about a year ago. Saw a bunch of like everybody tried it out for a day, and I haven't really heard about it since.
Yeah, but the gun play in Daisy I never really enjoyed very much. Now that's it's not to say like I watch people who are fucking. We talked about JLK, you know,
Yes.
and we
Oh
both
my
were
God.
we're fanboying out. Like, but watching him, like clearly the gunplay is something that you can get better at.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it's like when I watch fucking Mario and I'm like, this is the worst, most janky bullshit. Until then I learned how to control it, and it's like, oh no, I was just bad, right? Or CSGO, you know, if you don't know the AK spray pattern, you will never kill anybody.
Yeah.
But if you're able to like
Oh boy. I see they haven't fixed ghost steps yet. This is like my first PMC raid in a while. That was a good helmet. I've been just doing scab runs. One of these days I'm gonna catch this fucking spawn. I swear. Oh. Where is he? Where the fuck is he? Like, I'm hearing some. No, that's inside. I want to just start making my way straight ahead, like down there more, but this spawn messes shit up a lot. Nice, power's on too. So if I can make it to the crate, I can make some money. Might die here. I mean, I'm not hearing anybody else, but they could be camping, so they could just end my shit any second. I do gotta hurry up and get to the crate though, because the sun is coming up, not going down. And the rain stopped. Right as I'm passing the most dangerous part. That's fucking cool. I don't hear anything though. I'll just continue. This is the worst part right here. Passing this truck. Once I'm past this truck though, it's still gonna be pretty bad, but I shouldn't be in the middle right now. I should be on the highway. Honestly, I don't know if that was a player. I think that was a scab, though. Yeah, that was a scab. Grab some food. 2 this time. It's a nice helmet. Fog is rolling in. Whoa, I wasn't even holding shift and it was running by itself. It's crazy. It yet. That's not saying that someone's not in here right now about to open it, so we gotta make some tension. I'm not hearing anything, so I'm just gonna move on. I'm just gonna jump in. We'll see what happens. I've never died yet, so might as well start now. Someone gonna snipe me off the top of this? No? Not today? That's cool. I'll take some night visions. Close quarter combat handle. Got some mags for me here. I'm not sure. Another close quarter combat handle though. This Troy M-Lock, I guess, is supposed to be a really good one, like they fixed it or some shit, I don't know. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I take 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, is that full? Let's try that. I'm gonna be so overweight. What are you doing, game? No. I'm overweight, but not bad. It could be a lot worse. It's like dead silence. I really don't have to be doing all this sneaking, but I just want to make sure I'm not going to die instantly. I shouldn't even have taken that armor. It's only like 40k or something, 50k. I'm not hearing shit. If I don't hurry now, the sun's gonna come up and I'm gonna be running like so. What's right there? Right there. Something shiny I kept seeing. I don't see it now, which is weird, because that could mean that there's somebody like sitting in a bush right there. I gotta be careful when I get over there. Should be like right where the dot is, right there. I don't know if there's a bush there. Find out. I think there actually is a bush there. I'm gonna toss a grenade right there. Unless I get fucking laced up by the person I just seen. I see where the grenades need to go. Oh, I see the bush. Right there in that bush, or this bush. just time to run. If I die by a camper, I die by a camper. There's nothing you can do. You can't see into the bushes, so it's like, okay, shoot me then, dude. Get it over with.
control it, then you can fire full auto and be hitting a dime, right? So that's not to say that DayZ is necessarily bad. It just never felt good for me.
Yeah.
All of the fights felt totally fine and smooth and natural, and there were no moments where there were a couple moments where I was like, oh, that guy's still alive, but never like that was broken.
Yeah.
It was more like there's could be an explanation. You know, I don't know how any of the fucking shit works in this game.
Yeah.
But none of the guns have stats, you know, like which I kind of like because it's almost like there's a reason to use everything because you don't have any objective obvious comparison between like, oh, this is +1 and this is +3. Oh, why the fuck would I ever use this thing ever again?
Yep.
They all seem fairly viable. I mean, there were times where because you spawn, unlike DayZ, spawn with like 3 cans of soda, 2 things of food, and a TT and some ammo.
Okay.
So and like a you know, a shitty backpack, and it's like it's you're not just spawning in and like have to run to find food instantly. You're like, well, if I don't find food or a gun, I'm fucked.
I'm
you
dead.
know, like
yeah.
And there's tons of loot all over the place, and the survival mechanics are much, I don't want to say more forgiving, but they're much less annoying.
Yeah.
In that I played for 4 hours and only once or twice was hydration and like energy really a factor, and that was after I had just survived a fight and had used a shit ton of meds. Then I was like, okay, I need to take a moment and like drink a can of soda, but I had plenty. It was just like something you have to take care of, but it's not something that's like you have a 30-second timer that's like take a sip of water, you know, to like fill your bar up. I didn't love that about DayZ.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gunplay felt good. The some of the animations and stuff were a little bit janky. But overall, it's a really pretty game. It's got the God rays,
I fucked up.
DayZ's got with the nice like
I fucked up. I had the price backward
through the trees and stuff. And
it's too late. They sold.
There was really
I got like half.
I
got 12 grand for. I fucked
that
up.
I would like if I were to make a
Damn,
video, you know,
dude.
that was like getting.
Let me see what I would have got for him. That fucking sucks.
There's 2 things that I would like critique.
I would have got.
One of them is minor because
more.
it's most likely a bug,
yeah, it's
like,
not even that much more.
The
really
movement
isn't.
actually feels really nice.
Whatever.
Except if you're like holding W and D, like the diagonal movement, it's almost like it doesn't want you to move diagonally. It like jitters.
That's super
probably
weird.
just a minor bug, but it was kind of annoying. I mean, I just deferred to moving horizontally and vertically a lot more, you know. But they also have auto run, which is fucking great because it's like, oh, I got 100 meters to go to whatever. I'll just press V and I'll grab my guitar, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. And so before I get to wait, I already said that the diagonal was bad. Okay, so the good part, relating it back to Tarkov is that if you're looking down sights and you do this,
I'm shot.
The
dude.
gun
I don't know
is
what's wrong with me today.
moving around
I haven't
in a
played this
realistic
game
way.
like
It's
actually
not
played
just like,
a PMC run in a while, so
tied to your head. It's not
like bolted to
like
your eye
burnt out
line
today.
where
duct
every
taped
time.
to the camera. It makes it feel like you have control over the gun, but it's uncontrolled control. Like when you're shooting full auto, it's something where it's like you can see you're shooting towards the guy, but you're not. It's not like you have a beautiful, perfect picture and the gun's just going like this. You know, you're like, it's chaotic, which is, you know, how it is to shoot anything. I mean, there are videos of, you know, of female soldiers that look like they're 5'6", with M249s, standing shoulder, just full auto.
That's what I'm selling.
It's like they can control it.
Yeah.
But they're not putting hole after hole in the same fucking bullseye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be moving around, and and if you were to aim down the sights, you'd see this giant hunk of metal fucking, you know,
Yeah.
going chug 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 in front of you, moving around. So it felt really good, and the shotguns felt fucking phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
It was like I haven't played a game where shotguns felt good in so long.
Yeah.
Like me and Fluven were rolling, and we met some people that the first people that I met with VoIP were like, Veritas, what's up? I was
Oh
like,
my
fuck."
god.
Like, no way, dude. He's like, yo, check this out, and he dropped like a Ford Armor, fucking like an Alton, like it was not like a 249, but it looked like a G36,
Oh
but like
my
if the G36
God.
was an LMG. I don't even know how to describe it. And it had the double barrel, the double
magazine.
magazine.
What did I do here? What
And the guys were
what's
just like,
going on?
like 200 fucking bullets just going buck wild. And like there were dudes like that would go down in 2 shotgun shots from 20 meters.
Yeah.
Like it felt good.
Yeah.
And it felt so good that like I could have that LMG, and if I saw a group of 3 scavs on the road, even Tarkov, I would go prone and full auto, and I'd kill them all.
Yeah.
In this game, I was like, pop, 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 pop. You know, it was like,
Yeah.
you shoot and it goes up, and then you're like, get back on target, and it shoots, and then a little
Yeah.
bit of recoil, and then back on target, and that's.
Oh my
It
god,
felt
talking
fucking
about
really
this
good. It
stupid
felt
fucking
balanced.
game,
it felt
dude.
like I felt like a marksman and not
Yeah.
like I was playing some click game, you know?
And that's kind of where it mean that at 200 meters, yeah, like a vector in real life, that thing has no recoil. I mean, that's just like, but you put that at 100 meters, you can't put all, 50 rounds in a 3-inch square, or even, like let's say I had a 6-inch by 8-inch. You couldn't do that at 100 meters like you can in Tarkov. So what's the middle ground? Like, how do we give this sense of like wanting to like upgrade your traders and use this stuff and kit out your guns? How do we make it feel not like Tarkov, but not quite like a stock AK in DayZ? I feel like somewhere in the middle is something. I don't know.
I mean, I would say that from, and this is an interesting comparison because it's one perspective from it's like one scale on a different scale.
Yeah.
Where it's like, imagine a brand new soldier versus an expert civilian, right? Like shooting civilian. I don't know how to describe it, but like I've fired enough guns to say that I'm competent.
Yeah.
With most of the firing systems that I've messed around with. I'm not a fucking sharpshooter,
No,
I'm not gonna pretend
course.
like I'm anything amazing. I'm probably just an average shooter. But I will say that a game like Deadside felt much more realistic.
Fuck that side.
Than knowing as someone who has like learned skills and gotten into some skills, I've gotten to like amateur, some I've gotten to what you might think are mastery, whether it's like guitar or whatever. I wouldn't even say that, but like I know
I
enough
can't
to
listen to
be
this
able to
bullshit
identify,
anymore. He's
like,
comparing
oh,
like mastering
the
a
skill
guitar
gap
to like
between,
Deadside or something.
the
I don't even know what's
greatest
going
and
on
the
anymore.
worst.
I
You
gotta
can
fast forward this.
DayZ to
Of course, you'd have to change that, but like everything would change because of that. So it would be interesting. It was just.
let's see. 657.
657. Okay.
There were like 880 last time I.
So they tweeted out today. They tweeted out like something about the point. This just in. Therapist has let us know that she'll now be purchasing Bitcoin for 10 to 15% less, and she is assuming further degradation over time.
Why?
Oh, okay. So Therapist is a fucking crypto forecaster. Sick, dude.
So it's something. So it was just interesting.
Let's pull a GameStop and fucking everybody buy and boost it up.
Yeah.
She shorted Bitcoin.
Well, no.
Yo.
Well, that's the thing. They've broken the link. They've broken the link between IRL. They broke it. That's what that was saying. It's no longer a reflection of IRL Bitcoin, 20%. That was what that tweet was saying. That was saying, we're taking it back. We broke the link. We're nerfing Bitcoin. Stop crying.
Unless the link is like, it used to be like Bitcoin price times 1.7. Now it's like Bitcoin price times 1.4.
For sure, which is something a lot of people said that they could just do. Like the physical Bitcoin in game is 0.2 of a Bitcoin. Just make it 0.1. And now all the Bitcoins are 400K. Yeah, 100%. But they didn't do that. They decided to do it this way. They said Therapist is buying them for less. They've broken the link. And it was such a cluster. It was such a, I hate
Did Reddit catch
Twitter,
on fire?
bro. I didn't even open Reddit. I couldn't even handle Twitter, bro. I couldn't even handle Twitter because everybody was just freaking out about it, bro. Everybody was well, Rip the casual player, bro. You can't even. You just can't
Well,
even,
I mean,
you can't
listen,
even play
for
anymore.
3 years,
Rip the
for 3 years,
player.
the Bitcoin was never more than 120,000. That, I mean, none of us were ever casual.
Yeah.
The fucking thousands of players that all played before, we came out of the womb with a stash full of fucking thick cases.
100%. What's crazy is that, like, you and me know, like, Veritas, let me ask you, what's the difference between 25 million rubles in Tarkov, 250 million rubles in Tarkov, and 1 billion rubles in Tarkov?
Nothing.
How long you can meme before you need to buy something.
Yes. Nothing. There's nothing different. And what drives me up a wall is that this is like far and away the easiest wipe it's ever been to make money and escape from Tarkov. And you do not need the Bitcoin farm to casually, to 4 to 10 hours a week, make money, make good money. Get yourself a stack of 20 to 50 million cash on hand rubles if you just play the right way. But
True.
so people say rip the casual player, and what they don't understand that they're saying is that as a casual player, I should have the same amount of money as a Chad. That's what they want. It's like, you, as a casual player, you have access to all the same things. You have access to all the same gear. You have access to all the ways to make money. You can make that money very effectively this wipe. You can, if you put the casual in a vacuum, in a few weeks, that casual can buy or barter for or craft slicks. I have more slicks in my armor than any other armor right now. And I've never bought one off the flea market with my Bitcoin money. I never crafted one in the Bitcoin farm. That's not a thing. I craft Cordura and Aramid, and when I find some trooper armors, I barter for one. When I get into a good fight, I kill a guy, I take his. It's literally, I probably have 25 of them in my stash. But the Bitcoin farm rip the casual player. It's crazy. It's like, what do you want? Like, just stop. Like, what do you think? Somebody that plays the game 60 hours a week, like, what do you think they should have that you don't have? Nothing. Like, it's just, I don't get it. I've seen all over Twitter today, rip the casual player. I posted a YouTube poll, rip the casual player. What does that even mean, bro? Like, come on, dude. Like, I used to spend weeks looking for the damn shoreline key so I could do my stupid quest. Weeks. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean rip the casual player? Like, dude, I don't freaking get it. I don't.
And then there's me. Then there's me who nobody. I mean, ignoring the last month or two that I haven't been playing. No, I don't think anybody would call me a casual. Back when I was going hard for 3 fucking years straight. Yeah. And yet, I always had what was an amount of money that people were amazed at how little it was. But that was because, like, I didn't fucking, like, you don't need the difference between 5 million and 50 million and 5 billion is functionally, like, the difference is can I die 5 times in a row and still buy something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or can I die 20 times in a row and then have shit in my stash still?
Yep.
Before I need to like go through my junk box. I don't know. Like,
And even
I feel like the Bitcoin farm, like it was one of the only ways that I was making money, but I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine not making money in the game
Yeah.
because for me it's never been about like the money. To me, it was always the casual players that are like, I'm level 35, and I've been playing. This is my second wipe, and I've got 120 million rubles, and it was like,
yeah.
do you even know how to fucking build a gun? Or like, have you ever been in a fight? I've got my KD is 0.00000004, but I've got 9 billion fucking rubles. And it was like, okay, well then,
Yeah.
you were more casual and you have more money. So it's not about like, there's nothing about Bitcoin farming
Nothing.
that's for the casual. What Bitcoin farming is for the people who don't play, which is why I have the most money I've ever had in Tarkov, and I have not played in 2 months. I have 15 million rubles.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like what I'm saying is like I'm not here to debate whether it was a good change or not. I'm not here to debate what they should do around the Bitcoin farm. I'm not here to debate the balance of it. It's just the response was rip casuals.
It's always rip us. Somebody else is at blame. It's either BSG or it's the streamers or it's the casuals
Chads.
or it's the Chads or it's the
like,
rats or it's the people just want to fucking cry about everything.
I know, dude. And it was just.
And I know, trust me, I know the feeling. I know everybody's yelling at the fucking podcast right now, being like, "But you've complained the most out of everyone."
Touche. It just
you got me.
Freaking gets me, bro, because it's just like, be contrarian, be a cynic, be argumentative, but have a damn real opinion. That's all I want from you.
Just be able to fucking back it up.
All I want from you, man, is like have a real opinion, because rip casuals is not a real opinion. Rip casuals means what I hear when you say that is that you actually don't play Escape from Tarkov. And that some point long ago, it was rip casual for you, and you don't play because if you play, it's like, I'm not saying the ways to make money are inherently the most fun. If you play Escape from Tarkov to chat out on labs with slicks and HKs, I understand you not wanting to farm interchange for hideout materials and then sell those on for money. I totally get that, but you can't say rip casuals, right? Like, you don't go and sit down at Fortnite to play a hardcore experience. It's just like, you have to know what game you're playing, bro. Like, this is it. There's ways to make money. There's plenty of them. There's so many of them that you can make so much money in the hideout, bro. So if you liked the money printing machine that was the Bitcoin farm, I can align with that, dude. But like, rip casuals, like, what does that mean? Yesterday, what we were talking about was that there was too much money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, is that like 48 hours ago, everybody was crying that there was too much money in the economy. And now it's rip casuals. And I'm just like, God dang it. Like, I don't know.
So my mind is blown just reading this paragraph in chat. So it was mentioned at me. I was just saying how I have less money than the casuals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the game is basically harder for me than the casuals who have infinitely more resources. And one of the responses is, so easy to say when you guys play the game 8+ hours a day. Most people have traditional jobs and don't have time to grind like you guys. Oh, right. Forgot that I fucking worked full time for 2.5 years. That you have a fucking wife and kids and content and
got partner playing 3 days a week for 3 hours a day. That was my schedule for the first year and a half of me streaming.
Yeah,
9 hours of Tarkov a week. So
even though I'm sitting here saying they're wrong, but for different reasons, I'm not allowed to, because I play for 8 hours a day as the guy who hasn't played in 2 months.
Yeah.
And who says that it doesn't fucking matter.
And I'm the guy
who never has any money
with an entire YouTube channel basically devoted to trying to show people like you don't believe what I'm saying, bro, that I'm like considering the casual player. Like, look at my YouTube channel and just close your eyes, scroll through and pick a video. It's probably a video saying like, here are the meta attachments, but these aren't worth it because they only give you 2% bonus over these attachments, which are half the price. Check out this fun gun build. Check out this. Here's a way to do that. Like the whole, like my mission with my YouTube channel is to show people that you can be as effective, if not more effective, without meta, without the expensive stuff, that you can make money this way. Like, I just,
what we saw in chat was a perfect.
that
What we saw from that comment is a perfect example of what you started this whole conversation with, is that no matter what, you can say it doesn't matter because fingers go in the ears, and you're wrong because you are a streamer or because you are a X or because you are a Y. It's not about the actual fucking facts of any of the matter. It's not about any history. It's not about data. It's not about analytics. It's just about, even though my response that I'm mentioning you at shows that I literally don't understand what you're saying. I didn't hear what you said, blah, blah, blah. Don't say anything to me, but you're wrong. You know, it's like,
it's
that's the reason why everybody goes rip casuals. I mean, I'm sure, you know, he had a Reddit post. He was one of the original fucking authors saying rip casual.
So it was just interesting, man. Like the Bitcoin change there, like, and like, granted, like what I'm not here to do is sit on some high defense council for Battle State. Once again, I have yet to actually say if I think it's a good idea or a bad idea. You know, they've made all the hideout upgrades more expensive. They made getting all the clothes in the game more expensive. They made getting increasing your stash more expensive. They made Bitcoin harder to get. I'm not here to say that it's just like, it just goes back to that video where it's like, just shut up until we have a more complete game, because it doesn't matter.
Court, Chancellor, you will yield your time to the...
Okay, I yield.
To the associate from the Kansas.
Emissary, because I yield.
But I don't know why I was just picturing like fucking Star Wars
100%.
Episode 1, like Count Dooku, fucking whatever, the Count Deku tree. I don't.
The Count Deku tree, which is funny. So I'm sure you haven't watched it yet, but I haven't steered you wrong yet. You should watch that video that I sent you in Discord and let me know.
I've got it queued up, dude. As soon as I'm done streaming tonight, I'm literally getting in bed and I'm falling asleep to watching that.
Because it was randomly served to me. He's a really interesting guy, YouTuber, like smaller in the sense that he's got like, 60,000 subs. He does these video essays. It's really interesting. And what started off as this review of Death Stranding just ended him like talking about video game culture and a lot about how like basically, and you'll know exactly how it ties into like Tarkov and what we talked about. He was basically breaking down why the Death Stranding, why the Steam review page for Death Stranding is overwhelmingly positive. That's what it says. But the Metacritic is overwhelmingly negative.
It's like 62
zeros,
or something.
zeros. I mean, thousands and thousands of zero reviews. And he was like, you want to know why? Because you can't review a game on Steam until you've purchased it. And then that was it. Basically, that was everything. It was what we just talked about. It was like everyone saying rip casuals. They're not playing the game. Just like all these people that had just decided this game was bad, Death Stranding, because they watched a YouTube video of a YouTuber saying it was bad. They decided it was, so they go review it and they say it's bad.
Oh, that's an interesting twist. I didn't think it was going to go that way.
Bro, and then he talks about The Last of Us.
I'm under the impression, because I've seen gameplay of the game, I'm under the impression that it's a completely garbage game.
Bro, dude, watch the video, man. It's so interesting. And so, like, he talks about that. He ends up talking a little bit about The Last of Us 2, video game culture in general. He ties in this huge metaphor with the Beatles and, like, a quote from them. They played at they did a concert in 1965 where it was like 40,000 fans, and they never toured again after that. And the reason was because they were like, we couldn't hear ourselves over the just like the fans, the cacophony. And he was like, that's where we are with video games. Like, we just can't hear ourselves over the cacophony of just like trolls. It ended up being really interesting, and it was funny that I heard it, that I watched the video today after being super frustrated with the response to the Bitcoin thing, man. Like, just super.
I'm looking forward to it because
Yeah,
I've been listening to a few podcasts as well. I keep listening to this podcast. Rest in peace. Fucking, you want to say Rip Casuals? Rip Cool Games Inc. The fucking best podcast ever. That it has since dieted this podcast.
Died.
Yeah, it's Google it. I
Okay.
don't really care to
Alright.
get into it. But it was the quote unquote game design podcast where people would tweet at them funny shit, and then they would have to like, how can we make a game out of this?
That's
it was
funny.
the one where like the first episode is called Grandma Wants It Al Dente. And it ended up being like, it's a roguelike asymmetrical game where like someone is a pasta shaman, like grinding through the dungeons, and then the other people are playing on like smart glass, doing like a cooking simulation, and like it's fucking ridiculous. But
yeah.
but they the last like 2 episodes, they went off on a bunch of rants that were all talking about Death Stranding, and I just listened to those
That's
for like
funny.
the 150th time.
That's
Yeah,
super
so
funny.
it's perfect timing. I gotta
Yeah,
watch
that's
this.
super funny. So, so that's Tarkov, man. Like, not a whole lot's changing, but it's getting, like, to be honest with you, man, it's getting so tiring. And I don't want to throw out names because I don't want to like assume, but like, there are a few other content creators that I really enjoy too.
Oddballs is right here, dude. You don't talk about him like he's
that I can see are getting so just cheese grated, grinded down about Tarkov, and it has nothing to do with their enjoyment of the game. It has to do with just talking about, not even like the community, because I don't want to lump everybody in, but it's just talking about, there's like, it's annoying when you have to talk about the same thing all day, every day. And then it's annoying.
No, that doesn't. I don't understand.
And then it's annoying to have to talk about the same completely and utterly irrelevant thing all day.
Whoa, you don't what?
And
what?
That
wait, you mean you don't want to fucking argue with a different flat earther every day?
Yeah, dude, yes. Oh my God, that's such a perfect example.
It's not fun for you to argue with a different ignorant anti-vaxxer every day, that even though you put together a perfect argument and debate and all this evidence and research and logic, and you explain it to one person, someone else comes in and says, hey man, but you know the earth's flat, right? And you're like, I gotta start all over, and if you don't, you're a fucking hypocrite piece of shit.
Yeah. And I have empathy for the fact that I know that I signed up for this type of medium where I could go on a 27-minute rant about why Steam Audio is good, and then somebody could have just joined the stream and asked me about Steam Audio. Like, I try to empathize with the fact that I sign up for that. It's not that frustrates me when people have genuine questions. Hey, should I do this? I think we talked about this last week. Hey, should I do this? Like, oh, what do you think about this? It's the guys that come in first message. Did you see the Bitcoin change? Rip Casuals. Or like, I can't believe you're using that stupid gun. Or why are you using that stupid thing? Or why are you like, and it's that and that over and over and over. Why do you think Battlestate Games actually hates us? It's like, what kind of a trap question is that? Like, get out of here, dude. Like, shut up. And so
if you look at it, the problem is when you see it from both angles, it's, and this is why I got so fucking cynical and so jaded, because I know I'm 27 steps ahead in the discussion to where somebody's like, hi, I just got here and I have never heard any of the things you're talking about. And I'm going to quote this one Reddit post from 3.5 years ago that's since been discredited and everybody said it was wrong. And, you know, it was fucking deleted and blocked, but you got the cached fucking version of the webpage because somebody else made a video on it and it didn't get deleted on YouTube. But I still have to go through all the details or whatever to tell you why you're wrong. And if you just do the reasonable thing that everybody's like, oh, there's another one here.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, just tell him to go away. Then what he sees is he comes in and he's like, I have proof that the earth is flat. And you're like, oh no, the earth is definitely not flat. Oh no, get out of here. I'm done with you.
I can't listen to it anymore. It's fucking annoying. I think it's just Veritas's voice that's giving me a fucking headache. So I can't do it anymore. I wanted to know what they were talking about with like the fucking recoil and shit, but they're just talking about stupid shit, so. Oh well. Damn. Okay. I never go this way. Ooh, propane tank. I'm gonna end up dying if I get shot at though, because they didn't give me any armor, and they give me shitty bullets. I think that's like in the mall. Guy's getting closer. working his way the same way I am, but I think he's staying on the other side, so I'm gonna try to get out of here. I don't know why I just grabbed duct tape. I don't even think this tubing's worth anything. I'll keep grabbing it. I don't know why I'm picking up all this junk. Fuck it, let's just run. Probably gonna get killed, but either way, it doesn't matter. Scav run. Who's that in the bush right there? That's my guy, right? No. I'm losing interest in this fucking game. It's repetitive. Definitely losing interest in this game. I gotta figure out a different way to play if I'm gonna continue playing it, though. I know that, because it's not fun anymore, really. I mean, I don't know. They kind of killed it with the fucking, with the whole, like, Bitcoin thing. Like, the Bitcoin thing was fun for me. Like, they were worth a lot. It was fun trying to figure out how to get Bitcoins, and it was fun with the graphics cards being worth so much, but they changed everything so much. Now graphics cards are even, look. Graphics cards right now are going for 1.3. They used to be 1.9 and 1.8. They're worthless now. I literally have a graphics card right here that I haven't even sold yet because I'm gonna lose money on it if I try to sell it. like a lot of the shit's prices have tanked, which in turn had made it like you just don't even want to pick the item up anymore. For instance, CPUs tanked, circuit boards tanked, PSUs, Tetris. Might as well fucking throw the graphics card in here. Graphics card, gunpowder, CPU fans. All this stuff, RAM. All this stuff had dropped in price so much it's not even worth selling anymore. Look, I have multiple CPUs. Here, CPU fan, filter by 14. Like, what's the point? So this is the problem. CPU fans used to be 40k or something. They were worth grabbing. Why would I grab a CPU fan now when I can grab like a fucking corrugated hose that's 30,000 now? I literally just left like a shit ton of these. When I don't know, it's weird. Definitely weird. Bolts, also, another thing the price drop. 40k now. Yeah, so I was supposed to make on this. It costed me. There was a trade you can do in the hideout. So let's look here. Right now, graphics card goes for 1.3. This is why it fucks me over. Why I can't sell it. Took me 90 something hours to craft that thing. So right here, where is it? Right here. I did this. And it was, you can make money on it. So the wrench, 330. Two of these things, which is 320. So we're gonna say 650. Two of these, 650. We'll say 690. We'll just say 700,000, just to make it definite. 40k. We need 8 of these. 240. 940. Okay. Plus 8 of these. 4 of them would be 60. So 1,020,000 or whatever would be the price that everything right here would come out to. And then you would do this, even though it says 13 minutes, it's not. It's like 90 fucking 6 hours or whatever. Then you could sell it for like 800,000 profit or whatever. But now if I sell it, it's literally only gonna be like 200,000 profit. It was not worth waiting 96 hours for. So yeah, I might as well sell the fucking graphics card, but definitely not gonna waste time making one again though. Oh, no, no, no. I'm not gonna make the money, cause look, 1, 2, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. That, okay, so my profit is gonna be this 299 right here. It's really gonna be like 275. But then watch. It costs me 200,000 to list it. I'm literally gonna make $80,000. Literally $80,000. They fucked the game up with all their latest changes. It's just they changed too much stuff, and it's just a lot of it's not fun anymore. Why is there an MP9 mag here? Also, I bought that by accident. It sells for 30K, and I think I paid like 300,000 by accident for it. So, yeah. So hold on, how much is it to buy this? 429. Fuck. Fuck. Yeah. With that being said, probably done with the game for a little bit.